Heard those statements from my dad. He was my unsung hero. And in today's speech, I am going to quote a few of those examples that he has cited in his life and the life lessons that I've learned from my dad. I think it started when I was in my 5th standard. I wasn't a great public speaker then. In fact, if you remember, I was somebody who just ran away from the stage, reading through a piece of paper of my written speech. My dad is only an SSLC passed person. He studied in Kannada medium. Until then, I had never heard him speak English. I do not know how, but he ended up becoming a member of the parents-teacher committee in my school. Now, what it meant was, in all of these programs, they get to sit on the stage behind my principal, and once in a while, somebody gets called out to speak about something. I remember it very well. It was the Parents' Day celebration, and my dad was called to speak. Trust me, I was all ready to cover both of my hands on my face because I was imagining this situation. Oh my God, I just hope my dad does not make a fool of himself. I don't want to be embarrassed of him. I'm always proud of my dad. He came on the stage and he delivered a speech that kept everybody enthralled, including me. That day I realized I have a role model in my life. If I want to be a speaker, I want to be a speaker like him. You don't need to use fantabulous languages or words when you speak. All you need to do is just connect with your audience. Give them an eye-to-eye look and give a smile, and then ensure that you reciprocate the same feeling that the other person is reciprocating. So that was the first life lesson I learned from my dad, which was probably the encouragement for me to go ahead, because I had a benchmark. I had somebody to reach up to, and I had somebody who was doing it in front of me day in and day out. Lesson 2, a few years passed by. One of my father's family friend, he comes home. And like any other child, any other uncle who visits our homes, he asks me, who is your favorite, mom or dad? I know a few of you would probably say, oh, I'm both of them. Trust me, I was such a partial child. Even before he completed his statement, I jumped and said, of course, Dad. I don't have anything to learn from my mom. And the uncle smiled and he said, and my father's name is Pai. So he's like, Pai, which standard is your daughter studying in? I was in my 7th standard then, and he's like, are you in 6th or in 8th? I'm like, wow, okay. And then he asked me, and still you look up and say your dad is your favorite? Well, then I told him, Uncle, it's been 3 years since you left Dad's company. Why do you still come over and visit him once in a while? Dad is from a medical background. That uncle changed his job. He moved to Sharjah, and he still is in Sharjah. But every year, or whenever he would visit India, he would make it a point to come and meet my dad. And that he did not have any words to reciprocate. And I said, that is why my dad is my favorite. Does not matter whether he knows which class I am or which class I'm not in. Does not matter whether he's there when I get ready to school or not. But I know that I will always look up to him. And somewhere it's been true till today. Life goes by, and my dad is one of those people, he does not really come and gives you an advice. He just does it day in and day out. And you look at him, and then you learn that, okay, that's what you need to do. So there was one of these situations where my dad had about 12 representatives reporting into him, and one of them had a family situation where he had to go down to Vellore and step in for him and do his job for the next 4 days. My dad was a manager. It was not required for him to do so. But then he did it. And somewhere he taught me that when you have people reporting into you, it's not that you have to be their manager. you have to be their leader. And years went by. I had a similar opportunity in Accenture, and I did the same. And I could then understand what it meant for my dad to be really connected to the people around him. Last year, my dad had to undergo an operation. And we were debating as to should I be going down to Chennai to take care of him, or should he be coming down to Bangalore so it's easier for me. And you will not believe, there were 4 of his ex-colleagues. The reason is because it's about 10 plus years since he's retired, who called me and said, "Don't worry, Ma, we will go ahead and take care of him. I will sleep in the hospital in the night. There's another person who will step in the day." And I had no words for the love and affection that my dad had amongst people whom he led. Somewhere the lesson for me, be a leader, not a manager. If I have to quote this incident from Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, Alice goes and asks this cat, "Which direction should I head to?" The cat responds, "Where do you want to go?" And Alice says, Anywhere is fine." Then the cat responds, "Well, it does not matter which side you go. Eventually you will go somewhere." Right? For all of us, it's required to have a direction, to understand where we are going and how we are reaching there. And for me, my dad was my direction. I'm pretty sure all of you have a direction too, and something that you can take back. And just one magic mantra that my dad says day in and day out. Something goes wrong. If so, what's next? So if something went wrong, think back. If so, what's next? Thank you.